Hey guys, this is Live from Maniac. Guys, it's about time to get into the deck profile of the father of all duelists, you might say, but that's how it's really like appears to me, as he is the grandfather of the king of the games, Lil Yugi Muto, in the deck profile of none other than Solomon Muto. So, Solomon Muto in the Grand Championship arc has indeed an appearance with a real duel, which we do see from him. I'm very much enthusiastic about this one because in the Duelist Kingdom, unfortunately, we didn't see him playing against Seto Kaiba. We saw him losing or the loss, and we saw also the most cards of his deck, but we didn't see him really like having a real duel. Except for the fact the filler arc between Duelist Kingdom and Battle City, where we see in a backflash where he's dueling against the old Professor Hawkins, or Professor Hawkins, his colleague. And this is the first time we see him really dueling, and it's very stunning how the strategies and tactics which are applying for him, or applying to him. And yeah, I would suggest let's just jump into it, and then we'll analyze together what kind of strategy he got in mind. So mainly he's got a very, you might say, consisting, logical and step-by-step strategy, building his board, building his combinations, and then combining all that with some delaying tactics that he's got. He's got an ancient deck profile, so like it's an ancient theme in there, not like ancient gear, but just ancient. And so the ancient theme, but most of the cards, all of the ancient cards are not existing in the TCG. Unfortunately, I do not know the real cause for that. So Konami, please go on and build a theme. So what I did, there are ancient cards existing, but they do not have to do really much with it with each other. So we have to pretend him having a deck like that, but still the core strategy remains overall in general, or at least it is comparable. And like I said, let's just jump into it, and I will then explain to you and evaluate why and what and where and when. The big W questions. So first of all, I put in there a card which he did not play, which is Ancient Tree, a card from the OCG. Unfortunately, we do not have this card. An Earth type, 3 stars, 600 attack and 1500 defense. I think it might be in plant type, Earth attribute, of course, but I didn't look it up, so here we go. Ancient Brain, Dark attribute, 3 stars, and Fiend type, 1000 attack and 700 defense. I think he even had some vanillas in here, but I'm not sure anymore. Ancient Lizard Warrior, Earth attribute, 4 stars, Reptile type, 1400 attack and 1100 defense. Next up, Ancient Elf, a light attribute, 4 stars, spellcaster type, 1450 attack and 1200 defense. So many vanillas in here, but not only. The only card we have here, which is you might say referencing to his deck, at least by name, is the Ancient Dragon, which was his main boss monster on which the strategy was built on. But yeah, it was far more strong. It had double the attack as it has now in the TCG with this card, but it also was a dragon. This one is a light type, 4 stars, dragon, light attribute, dragon type, 1400 attack and 1300 defense. And its effect works like that. With this card afflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack. It can increase this card's level by 1 and attack by 500. So not that bad for an attack boost effect, at least, and then level up. Then I put in there this giant soldier of stone, as he has this stone theme around him as well in this deck. As he had in the anime as well. And the giant soldier of stone even is a card which he has in his deck in the Duelist Kingdom. It's an earth attribute, 3 stars, 1300 attack and 2000 defense, so good defensive posture as well. Then we got the Lost Guardian, which is comparable to cards which he played out against Joey Wheeler in the Grand Championship arc, which is an earth attribute, 4 stars, a rock type, 100 attack and question mark defense, so effect works like that. The ground defense or base defense of this card equals to the amount of monsters from type rock which are banished from the game past 700, as we have many rock, earth, rock type monsters in here. Rock type really does help or will help. We do have Guardian statue, also on rock type. Earth attribute, 4 stars. Like I said, rock type, 800 attack, 1400 defense, and its effect works like that. You can once per turn, during your main phase, switch this card into face down defense position. If this card is flip summoned successfully, you can give one monster on the field back to the respective player's hands. And I thought, as he also had monster cards which were the names were, I think, like rock statue or something like that. I put this one as a 2 of in here because it's very essential. But other than that, I put in there Guardian Stone Soldier, a card which was is a movie DSOD card, but still very much, yeah, you might say futuristic version of the Giant Soldier of Stone. So with the same stats, Earth attribute, 3 stars, rock type, 1300 attack, 2000 defense, but this one got an effect. If all monsters that you control are rock types, minimum 1, as long as this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, and you can just use this effect once per turn. But as this also is a good defensive stalling engine which he had in here, I put this card as a 2 of in here, also because of the rock type. Then Withering Soldier, which we originally get to see in GX, but still he had also another rock type monster with 2000 attack. So here we go. But it's just also an anime exclusive, as well as all the other rock type monsters which he had in the anime or played out in the anime, engaged into a battle. Earth attribute, 4 stars, rock type, 2000 attack, 1200 defense, and its effect works like that. If this card is destroyed due to a battle or a card effect and brought to the graveyard, you can take one Fossil Fusion or one card that mentions Fossil Fusion or Withering Soldier from your deck to your hand. And it's a once per turn effect, and once per turn during the end phase, this card loses 600 attack, which also was an, I think, downside of one of the Stone Soldiers that he got. But yeah, we have to ignore, of course, the Fossil Fusion effect, as its effect, I think. Maybe, I don't know if it was Tim Crocodile. I think it was Tim Crocodile, but it might also be Tanner Hasselberry. I think it was Tim Crocodile. I'll also just put this one as a 2 of in here, and just played out this effect. Then one monster finally that he had in this game, which was the Sinister Serpent. Water type, 1 star, reptile, water attribute and reptile type. 300 attack, 250 defense. At your standby phase, if this card is in the graveyard, you can take it back to your hand. Here we go. I think they errated this card even, but I'm not a fan of that, so here we go. Then a card which kind of was in the game, but just as a trap card, so I thought why not have the monster card of that in here? Would make all the sense in the world. Earth attribute, 5 stars, rock type, 1700 attack, 2400 defense. Once per turn you can flip this card into face down defense position. When this card flips, someone return a monster your opponent controls to their owner's hand. Also very great effect. And also being a rock type. Then a card which also would fit very much to him, and also fitting to the whole theme and strategy of this game, which is Millennium Golem. An Earth attribute, 6 stars, a rock type, 2000 attack, 2200 defense. Yeah, the Millennium theme is of course a theme which refers to Solomon Muto directly. Also really much looking like the monsters that he had protecting his Asian temple magic spell card. Then in exchange, which I had to make as we as we have the Asian dragon in here, and it's not a 2800 boss monster as it was in the anime. I put in here Tiger Dragon, which very much looks comparable to the Ancient Dragon back in the game, and also has 2400 attack, 1800 defense, but yeah, comparable stats. 6 stars, Earth attribute, Dragon type. If this card is summoned as a tribute summon by attributing 2 dragon monsters as a tribute, then you can destroy 2 set cards under the spell and trap card of your opponent. We do have, as a matter of fact, 2 monsters in here, but yeah, very unprobable that we can offer both of them tribute, because one is this one and the other one is that, and the third one is I put in here the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Technically he had this card still, it was broken, but he still had it. He could have had it in his deck when we didn't see it. So 8 stars, light attribute, iconic dragon, and iconic 3000 attack and 2500 defense. We didn't witness this one, unfortunately, but I'm very much convinced this one could have been in his deck. So this is my monster lineup. This is about it. But it's enough. You can, of course, if you want to, put 2 other Asian dragons in here to make this effect work better. Maybe put more of these Lost Guardian, or maybe another of the Guardian statue, or maybe one more of this, or one more of this. Or maybe put also other rock type monsters in here to make the deck better work. But I thought this was a very balanced version. Yeah, but other than that, this is my monster lineup. Let's get into the spells. You make a copy of that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I have to admit, the spell cards were very much his ace in this deck, because he really relied on the combination of his strategy all about his Asian cards, and the Asian cards were mostly spell cards, I think, or even all of them. So first off, I put in here the Monster Reborn, which of course we didn't see him having this in here technically, but yeah, I think basically this card is in any deck, but I might be mistaken. I do not remember it that much. I put one card destruction in here. Of course, you know what Monster Reborn does. Of course, special summon one monster and face up attack or face up defense position from either player's graveyard, and the card destruction. Both players discard all cards from their hand and draw, of course, equal amount of cards from their decks. A card which was a trap card in the duel was with his own artwork, but that doesn't exist in TCG. So I had to make an exchange, which was second coin toss, not working with dice or die, but this one working with coin tosses, but it's also a permanent card. The other one was a permanent trap card. This one is a permanent spell card. And in order to, as long as this card remains favorable to the field, you can negate the effect of a card requiring counters once per turn and redo the counters. So, Solomon Muto had a little bit of a anti die engine with his trap card, and as also, of course, Joey Wheeler works with coin tosses, so this one also fits. Of course, it does more speculate and risk with dice, as he has graceful dice and skull dice, but and also other die engines mechanics. But yeah, also he has some engines with coin tosses, as for example the Time Wizard. Then the first time we get to introduce with this very combination is the Mirage of Nightmare, here in Ultra Rare from the MP25. A permanent spell card. Of course, you can once per turn during your opponent's standby phase draw until you have four cards in your hand, and if you do, once during your next standby phase of that, randomly discard the same number of cards you drew or your entire hand if you do not have enough cards. So what he does is he uses that effect and combines it with emergency provision, so it doesn't, the downside of this effect doesn't apply. Of course, emergency provisions destroys any number of other spell and trap cards to the graveyard, and you gain 1000 life points even for each, so it has a double good effect. This very iconic combination is also being used by Jaden and Yuki in GX, but yeah, I wanted just to mention it, so I put it also in here to make it more probable. So now we are very much on did come to the point where I made other assumptions. Ancient Rule, a card which he did not play out, but I thought as we have some ancient spell cards as well in the TCG, I could use it, and also makes all the sense in the world and logic. This one works like that. Summon one normal monster with level 5 or higher as a special summon from your hand. We do have indeed at least one normal monster with level 5 or higher, which is Blue Eyes White Dragon, of course, which is the Millennium Golem. Yeah, so those two, and with them we can combine this very effect. Then we have Ancient Telescope, which works like that. As long you can look up at the 5 top card of your deck, not of your deck, and the deck of your opponent, and then you can put them back on the same chronological order. So you cannot change it, but you can see it, and then make up your strategy and tactics along it. Then Ancient Seal. You can pay 1000 life points, and then you can take all set cards on your opponent's side of the field, look at them, and then put them back onto your original position. The effects of the set cards are not being activated. So very much like this one, just this one is with the deck, and this one is with the field set cards of your opponent. Yeah. Then I put also a Poison of the Old Man in there. Yeah, and Poison of the Old Man is a quick spell card which works like that. You can choose one and activate one of the following effects. One, increase your life points 1200 points, which is very sticking to that emergency provisions effect. And you can also put effect damaged by 800 points to your opponent, so it does have two possibilities. Then I have the Toil of the Old Man, I think it is called in English, which is a permanent spell card. And this card is activated, put one spell counter on it once per turn. During a standby phase, you put one spell counter on it. And so as well in the activation on the one side, and on the other side also on the standby phase of your turn. And then once per turn you can choose one of the effect you get for each counter 500 life points, also sticking to that effect and to that effect. And or the other one, you can put for each counter 300 effect damage to your opponent. So if you have like 3 or 2 at least, and then maybe 2 600, 2 300. or maybe if you wait 2 turns, then it's like 900 and total, and then combine it also with this card. So yeah, I thought also why not have an effect like not only increasing but also damaging your opponent, so it's even a little bit better, like the emergency provisions, which just has one-sided option for you to increase your life points. Then I gave him one Swords of Revealing Light. Back in the days he had this one in his deck, which of course stalls for 3 turns your opponent cannot attack. And he has also other stall mechanics, and that's why I put this one in here. And I gave him one D-spell, which of course destroys one spell card on on your opponent's side of the field, I think. Yeah, if it's one off the field, so maybe also you can destroy this one, but this one, of course, yeah, you have to put down with emergency provisions rather than. But you can also, if you like, apply the effect completely, and then in the other round you can still destroy it. Yeah, and if the card is set down, you have to flip it face up, and if it's a spell card, it's being destroyed, and if not, you can put it back to its original position. So that's my spell lineup, guys. You might copy that, make a photo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's get into the traps. So the traps are very much, you might be simple, straightforward stalling your opponent in order to put out your combinations like he did. First of all, we have non-aggression area, a card which you can just activate this card in standby in your standby phase. Discard one card from your hand. Your opponent can at his next turn not normal or special summon any monsters and or set any. So like he doesn't have even the possibilities to set. I think he played it out twice, but I put it in here even thrice. So like, yeah, very much a good basically a basic option to like stall your opponent and not letting him being able to build up a board slowly but remorselessly and step by step. Yeah, very good card. Even I would. This is one I would even, recommend. Maybe even in the meta it's good because it's even against special summons. You know, if your opponent cannot neither set nor special summon and also not normal summon. But I think it didn't say anything about flip summon. Yeah, but still you cannot bring up any new monsters. So very very strong effect. Then I gave him, which he also had in the game, so these cards that he had. And of course I gave him this one, Ordeal of the Traveler, a permanent trap card which works like that. You can activate this card only if your opponent attacks. Your opponent chooses one random card in your hand and calls them type monster, spell, or trap. If he foresees it wrong, the attacking monster is put back to his hand. Yeah, so of course if he does call it right, it's not. I put this one as a 2-off in here, and as of course I mentioned it, the Pyramid Sphinx, as it's called, Pyramid Sphinx? No, Guardian Sphinx. The Guardian Sphinx is on this artwork, and I thought why not have also the Guardian Sphinx down in here. Would make sense. Make all the sense in the world. So these trap cards we saw. Others that I included we didn't. But one other comparable card we have in here, which is Dice Reroll. As he really did that with this permanent trap card, but Dice Reroll is not permanent trap card. We do not have this card which he had in the TCG. But also the Dice Reroll is one time during the rest of his turn, either players rolls a die or dice. You can have the players reroll. You can only gain this effect once per turn. So it really much mimes the effect of the trap card which Solomon Muto had in his deck, but it's not permanent, unfortunately. So you can just do it once. And also I would call those cards, those dice with the color, one red and one blue, a reference to graceful dice and skull dice. Yeah, but yeah, so also works here very, very well. But other than that, I thought Mirror Force he had in his Dual Skin deck, I think. So of course, a board breaker. If your opponent attacks with a monster, you can all the attack position monsters are being destroyed. A very good board breaker. I have to have here. Eye of Truth, which he had in the Dual Kingdom deck. Your opponent must play with his hand shown fully, and then each of your send power phases, if he has a spell card in his hand, he gets 1000 life points. A little downside in here, but still he had this card. And also matches his Egyptian theme or mystic theme, Egyptian mystic theme which he had in here. And last but not least, I put in there another of my adoptions, Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. So like all the named Asian is here. All face up level 6 or higher special summon monsters on the field cannot declare an attack or activate their effects. So also a downside because it also applies for yourself. But if you like with the back against the ropes, then it might come in handy. So this is it, guys. This is my full, I mean like 40, something like that. Yeah, my 40 cards deck profile from Solomon Muto. I hope you guys liked it, enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, show me some love, guys. Stay tuned for more content of this kind. I think it's very unfortunate that we do not have the ancient temple and all those cards, ancient key, ancient gate, and all they're called, and then the real ancient dragon with the 2800 attack, and I think 2000 defense. And also, it has, along with the Ancient Temple, the effect that it always can come back a little bit like Vampire Lord. So, like, if it's destroyed by effects or by attack, I think, also spell and trap cards, it always comes back as long as Ancient Temple is on the field. And I think Joey Wheeler destroys the whole shenanigans with Giant Trunate and then destroys the Ancient Dragon. I don't know, maybe with Guilford, the Lightning? Oh, and they are then both destroyed. Something like that, yes. Yeah, but other than that, it was very satisfying building this deck. Unfortunately, like, I had to make very many assumptions, but I still tried to stick to this Asian theme, to his rock topic, to the gaining life points and stalling engine with his trap cards especially. Yeah, and of course we had also some cards which he had in the game, but were very few. Yeah, and other than that, I wish you guys, like always, a good morning and good midday, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you witness this one. This is me, your Slifer Maniac, and then in the big peace.